Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fred McClure, and on behalf of the President and Mrs. Bush and the George Bush Presidential Library Foundation, thank you so very much for joining us this evening. When we were thinking about what we might do to celebrate this holiday season, we thought it might be fun, much like the tradition at the White House, to have our own Christmas tree lighting ceremony here at the library and the museum. I'll admit at the time that I had this hope that the President and Mrs. Bush would be here with us, them to step up to the plate again and do the honors. But as you all have probably heard, the President's been a little bit under the weather, and they couldn't be with us. So we're going to have this Christmas tree lighting without them, with the hope and prayer that they will be with us next year to do the honors of lighting our Christmas tree. And I know you all wish the President well in his recovery. I just got back from Washington actually a few hours ago, and yesterday, at the end of the day, I drove by the Ellipse and I saw the Christmas tree, which hasn't been lighted yet, I don't think, in Washington, D.C., and thought about the times that presidents have gone down to the Ellipse and lighted the Christmas tree. In December of 1923, the first national Christmas tree was placed on the Ellipse just south of the White House. And on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m., President Calvin Coolidge walked from the White House to the Ellipse to light the tree that was donated by his native state of Vermont. In the ensuing years, the tree lighting has been accompanied by community singing, U.S. Marine Band performances, and though the national Christmas tree occupied other locations in and around and on the White House grounds throughout the intervening 30 years, in 1954, the site was permanently chosen on the Ellipse at what is now known as President's Park. And in that year, the tree lighting became known as the Christmas Pageant of Peace. And the actual lighting was moved from Christmas Eve to a few weeks earlier in December so that the community can enjoy it. And though the location and the lighting ceremony program have changed and evolved over the years, the purpose still remains the same. Our local and national communities coming together to celebrate the season and to share the message of peace. Please join me in welcoming the Executive Director of the Bush Library and Museum, Mr. Warren Finch. Warren.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you to those lovely voices. Wish I could sing that well, but I can't, so I won't even try. But thank you all for being here for a new tradition at the Bush Center. And I'd also like to talk about what we'll be doing tomorrow just for a second. A tradition that began way back in 1999, Holidays in the Rotunda. Each year we celebrate the holiday season by inviting local groups, orchestras, choirs to perform in our rotunda with a beautifully decorated Christmas tree. This year, however, because of the exhibit is currently in the Rotunda Genome, the Secret of Life, we'll actually be moving Holidays in the Rotunda to Holidays in the Bush Presidential Conference Center next door. So please join us there tomorrow from 10 until 3, and enjoy the refreshments. And there'll be ornament making for the kids, so the young and at heart can make ornaments and take them home and put them on their own Christmas tree. It's a busy time of the year here at the Bush Library. Our elves have been very busy this year decorating for Christmas. The tree inside the rotunda is actually decorated with ornaments, hand-stitched ornaments by the Heavenly Stitchers, a group down at the President's Church in Houston. These ornaments actually hung on the White House Christmas tree, so you'll get to see those ornaments that hung on the White House Christmas tree during the administration. And thank you all for coming to our inaugural tree lighting. In College Station, you do something once. Maybe it's not a tradition, but you do it twice it is. So join us here next year, and we'll make it a tradition here at the Bush Library. I'd like to welcome back to the podium Fred McClure.
Thank you, Warren. 23 years ago, on December 14th, 1989, President and Mrs. Bush had the honor of lighting the Christmas tree on the Ellipse for the very first time. And what a year 1989 had been. Freedom was breaking out all over the world. And all you need to do is look on the plaza here to remember the events that signaled the end of the Cold War. The president described what was happening around the world in this way. He said, "And today there's a new sound at the wall. New sound rings out, not the hammer and sickle, but the hammer and the chisel. The glad sound you hear is not only the bells of Christmas, but also the bells of freedom." He went on to describe the holidays that evening as a time of laughter and children and counting our blessings, a time when songs fill the air and hope fills our hearts for peace on earth, goodwill to men. The president proclaimed that evening that from now on in America, there's no room at the end was simply not an acceptable answer. He said, from now on in America, any definition of a successful life must include serving others. For Christmas is measured, he noted, not by what's beneath your tree, but what's inside your heart. For this evening's inaugural Christmas tree lighting, I'd like to ask Warren to come back here to the side of the podium and also ask to join us in this first inaugural lighting, Coach R.C. Slocum and his bride, Nell.
Thank you for allowing us that honor. It's a great treat to us to be here this evening. It's a special time of the year when hearts are bubbling and everybody's excited. We're really proud, my wife and I, to be here. I felt badly because President Bush would have allowed Barbara to turn the light on. We messed that one up. But anyway, don't tell him. Don't tell her when you see her. But we appreciate you being out here. And as Fred mentioned, let's enjoy this season, and let's make it one where we do reach out to each other. Don't worry so much about what you're getting. I know for you young people that might be a big request. But do think about your classmates, your friends, and how you can care for them and help for their lives to be better. Let's go through these holidays, and for the rest of the year and years to come, let's take the joy of Christmas and try to be a friendlier, happier, more caring, respectful people towards each other. Merry Christmas. Good tidings to all of you. And Gigamaggies, and say a little prayer for President Bush, and also one for our man Johnny Football that he wins that Heisman Trophy.
Thanks, Coach, and thank you all for joining us this evening. I have some special acknowledgments that I need to make. First, the men's chorus, the 6th grade honor choir, and the varsity choir from College Station High School and Cypress Grove intermediate choirs. Another round of applause. Great job, guys. Okay, so we just didn't go out and find this tree. This magnificent tree was donated by the Scormardo family. And the farm patch, where are you guys? You're over there somewhere. Thank you very much. We also want to thank Post Oak Florists for taking time to beautifully decorate the Bush Library Center Christmas tree. And to the foundation, the library, and the museum staff, all that you did, thanks a bunch for making this event possible. Now, I do believe that this will be a grand background for some Christmas cards in 2012, so y'all make it back out here and take some pictures. I think you might agree with me. For those of you who received the invitations, please join me inside the rotunda for cocoa and cookies, and once inside, you'll get to see the rotunda Christmas tree that Warren mentioned and the ornaments that were done by the saintly stitchers. Thank you all, and Merry Christmas.